Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among rolling hills, there lived a young man named Hero. Hero was known throughout the village, not for his strength or skills, but for his restless mind. His thoughts raced like wild horses, constantly analyzing, overthinking, worrying about the past and fearing the future. His mind was a crowded room filled with noise, leaving no space for peace. But one day, Hero heard whispers of a renowned Zen master who lived atop a distant mountain. They said this master possessed the secret to inner peace, a tranquility so deep it could silence even the noisiest mind. Intrigued and desperate, Hero set out on a journey, determined to find the master and unlock the mystery of a quiet mind. Through dense forests, rugged paths, and steep cliffs, Hero climbed, his mind still chattering, filled with doubts. But finally, he reached the mountaintop. There, sitting in serene stillness, eyes gently closed in meditation, was the Zen master. Hero approached, bowed deeply, and with a trembling voice said, "Master, I have come seeking your guidance. My mind is restless, tangled with endless thoughts. I yearn for inner peace. Please, can you teach me how to empty my mind?" The master slowly opened his eyes, revealing a calmness that seemed to hold the depth of the universe itself. A gentle smile formed on his face. "Empty your mind, you say?" The master replied softly. "Very well, I will teach you." Without another word, the master led Hero to a small courtyard. There, amidst a peaceful garden, stood a large stone basin filled to the brim with water. The master picked up a simple ladle, dipped it into the basin, and poured the water into a smaller empty bowl. Then he turned to Hero and said, "Your task is simple. Empty this basin. But there's one rule. You must transfer all the water into the smaller bowl without spilling a single drop." Hero stared at the two containers, the massive basin and the tiny bowl. How could this be possible? But determined to succeed, he began. Scoop after scoop, hour after hour, he worked tirelessly. Yet the basin never seemed to empty. No matter how carefully he poured, frustration crept in, and with it, his mind grew even more restless than before. Finally, exhausted and overwhelmed, Hero slumped to the ground. The Zen master quietly approached, placing a gentle hand on Hero's shoulder. "Hero," the master spoke softly, "you're trying so hard to empty the basin, but you've forgotten the most important step." Hero looked up, confused and weary. "To empty the basin," the master continued, "you must first empty your mind." Hero blinked, struggling to understand. "But how do I empty my mind, master?" he whispered. The master smiled warmly, his eyes shining with quiet wisdom. "Let go of your worries, your fears, and your attachments. Don't focus on the outcome, focus on the moment. Be fully present, feel the water, hear its gentle sound, and simply be." Hero took a deep breath. He closed his eyes for a moment and released the frustration knotted within him. When he opened them again, something had shifted. This time, he wasn't just scooping water. He was present with every movement. He felt the coolness of the water, heard the delicate splash, noticed the rhythm of his breath. His mind grew quiet. His thoughts faded like ripples, settling on a still pond. And then, something remarkable happened. With each scoop, the water flowed effortlessly. The task that once seemed impossible now felt natural, even graceful. Without struggle, without force, the basin gradually emptied. At last, Hero poured the final drop into the small bowl. He turned to the master, his heart filled with wonder and gratitude. The master smiled and said, "You see, Hero, when you empty your mind, you allow the universe to flow through you. You become one with the task, and everything falls into place." In that moment, Hero understood. True peace wasn't something to be found on a mountaintop. It had been within him all along, hidden beneath the noise of his own thoughts. From that day forward, Hero carried the master's wisdom in his heart.